Imagine walking through the Siberian wilderness one day, only to be struck by an explosion so massive it levels everything for miles, but there's no impact crater, no sign of what caused it. Or perhaps you're on the open sea, finding a ship completely intact but abandoned, as if the crew simply vanished into thin air. What could have happened? How do we explain these eerie, bizarre events that leave us questioning the very reality we know? These aren't just ghost stories or urban legends. These are documented facts. Events that even to this day, with all the technology and data we've possessed, make no sense at all. In today's video, we're diving into the scariest and most baffling mysteries that defy all logic. From strange disappearances and unexplainable phenomena to terrifying experiments that push the boundaries of science, these are facts that simply don't make sense. So, stick around until the end. You won't believe some of the things that have happened right here on Earth. But before we get into it, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to The Speedy Secret, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss out on more mind-bending mysteries. Let's start with one of the most well-known aviation mysteries of all time. Flight MH370.
Airline confirms it has lost contact with a plane carrying 227 passengers.
It seems to have vanished into thin air.
What do we tell the family members? What do we tell the media?
Police, I have the real evidence. It's there, and you can't deny that.
Never in history have 239 people been declared dead on the basis of mathematics alone.
In 2014, Malaysia Airlines flight MH370 vanished without a trace, carrying 239 people on board. The flight was on its way from Kuala Lumpur to Beijing when it suddenly disappeared from radar. Despite an extensive search spanning millions of square miles and involving the latest technology, the wreckage of the plane was never found. How does a massive commercial jet just disappear? Even after years of investigation, we still don't have solid answers. Some pieces of debris were eventually discovered, but what actually happened to the plane and its passengers remains one of the most unsettling aviation mysteries in history. Now, let's step back in time to the Tunguska event of 1908, one of the most powerful explosions ever recorded, which flattened an estimated 80 million trees over an area of 830 square miles in a remote part of Siberia. The strange thing, no impact crater was ever found, and no fragments of a meteorite have been discovered. Theories range from an asteroid explosion in the atmosphere to more outlandish ideas like extraterrestrial activity or a secret weapon test. But over a century later, we're still not entirely sure what caused this devastating explosion. The sheer scale of destruction, combined with the lack of solid evidence, makes the Tunguska event one of the greatest scientific mysteries of the 20th century. Moving from the sky to the sea, there's the case of the Mary Celeste, a ship found adrift in 1872 with no crew aboard. The ship was in perfect condition, its cargo intact, provisions stocked, but every person on board had vanished without a trace. There were no signs of struggle or foul play, and the last entry in the ship's log was entirely routine. To this day, we have no idea what happened to the crew. Did they abandon ship for some reason? Were they taken by pirates or a freak storm? Every theory seems to fall short, leaving the Mary Celeste as one of the most famous maritime mysteries of all time. But mysteries aren't confined to historical events. Some cases are so strange they border on the paranormal. Take the bizarre death of Miguel José Villanova and Manuel Pereira de Cruz in 1966. These two men were found dead on a hillside in Brazil, wearing lead masks over their faces, and carrying a cryptic note that mentioned a signal and some mysterious time to be noted. There was no evidence of foul play or clear cause of death, and to this day, no one knows why they were wearing the lead masks or what they were waiting for. The strange combination of unusual attire, cryptic notes, and unexplained deaths has led to speculation ranging from secret experiments to alien encounters. But the truth remains elusive. Let's not forget the dark chapters of history. During World War II, Japan's Unit 731 conducted horrific human experiments, all in the name of science. They performed vivisections, tested biological weapons, and subjected prisoners to unimaginable suffering, all while gaining valuable medical knowledge that contributed to modern medicine. But the moral cost was beyond comprehension. Many of the experiments remain classified, and those involved were largely shielded from war crimes prosecution. The legacy of Unit 731 is a chilling reminder of how scientific advancement can sometimes come at a devastating human price, raising ethical questions that continue to haunt us today. Speaking of controversial science, let's talk about Robert Cornish, an American scientist who in the 1930s claimed to have found a way to bring the dead back to life. Cornish experimented on animals, particularly dogs, using a mechanical swing to circulate blood and revive them, and in some cases, it worked. The dogs came back to life, but with severe health problems. Cornish wanted to try his method on humans, but was denied the opportunity. The experiments left lingering questions. What would have happened if he had gone further? Would reviving the dead even be ethical? It's a strange case where science fiction seemed on the verge of becoming science fact, but luckily, it never went that far. Then there's the eerie Cave of Krubera, the deepest cave in the world, located in Georgia. What makes this cave particularly chilling is that it contains the remains of several individuals dressed in fine clothes, far from the type of attire you'd expect to find in such a remote, dangerous location. These weren't ordinary people, they were likely wealthy individuals, but why were they down there? And how did they die? The circumstances surrounding their deaths and how they ended up in such an extreme environment remain a mystery. The cave is already intimidating because of its depth, but the mystery of the bodies found within makes it even more unsettling. These cases raise questions that we may never fully answer. Why did these events happen? Were they the result of natural phenomena, human error, or something more sinister? As we continue to push the boundaries of what we know, we're constantly reminded that there's so much we still don't understand about the world and the universe around us. But here's a question for you. If you could solve one of these mysteries, which would it be? The Tunguska explosion that flattened Siberia, the ghostly disappearance of the Mary Celeste's crew, or perhaps the strange deaths of two men with lead masks? Drop your thoughts in the comments below and let us know which mystery you think deserves an answer. And remember, if you enjoyed exploring these unsolved mysteries that defy logic, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the Speedy Secret, and press the bell icon to get notified about our future videos. You won't want to miss what we uncover next. Until then, stay curious, stay skeptical, and always question the unexplained.